Hi, Dr. Axa. Good evening to you. How are you?
Good morning to you. I'm fine. How about you? Thank you for wanting me.
Thank you so much for saying yes to be interviewed today. I'd like to introduce myself formally. My name is Nicolette. I am the creator for the podcast titled You're Worthless. Read that again. The juxtaposition of your very soul. Now, for our listeners, I would like to read a bit of your introduction and then we can get right into what does Dr. Axa do and what is her story. So if you allow
Let's
me.
do that.
Hello, everyone. We have Dr. Axa Yox here with us, a powerhouse of resilience and inspiration who has completely transformed her life and is now on a mission to empower others. 2 years ago, standing in the shadows of her own fears, Aksa embarked on a profound journey of self discovery, shedding the layers of doubt and insecurity to embrace a life of confidence, purpose, and vibrancy. Today, Aksa is a beacon of light, a living testament to the power of perseverance and self love. Her transformation is not just about a change in appearance, but a deep shift that encompasses every aspect of her life. With a voice that resonates with authenticity and passion, Aksa shares her remarkable story of triumph over adversity, the lessons learned, and the strategies she employed to cultivate a life she truly loves. While going through adversity, Aksa developed an innovative technique and published a book where she describes a seemingly simple yet potent tool that helps overcome anxiety and stop procrastination. It has proven effectiveness not only for her, but also for many she coached. Wow, welcome. Welcome to the show, Aksa.
Thank you. Yes, let's help people to stop procrastination. There are so many people who are still in their comfort zone, so-called comfort zone.
Yes, I mean, I am guilty of that too. Just today, because last week was the whole week of me hosting guests on my show, but this week is just two because I'm in the middle of moving out of my house. So it's like, okay, I got 2 weeks left. I need to pack my stuff. So right now, I mean, you can't see, but my luggages are behind the camera. I need a pack this week. So okay, but before that, Dr. Aksa or Aksa, can you share with us what was it like growing up as Axa Yox?
I love that. I was actually growing in love with nature, so becoming a biologist was kind of destined for me. I did my master's in physiology, and I knew that I found my passion to learn what's happening in our body as the response for the environment or the other signals that we meet every single day. But once, because I was in science for over 15 years, I was very successful. And then somehow, because of the life changing circumstances, I went through very hard times. I lost my dad. Then another life changing circumstance happened in our family. Then I went through my personal trauma. Then I moved to live to the US all by myself. I didn't know anyone. So I was going through many changes, and staying in my comfort zone kind of became not the optional for me. But I needed the motivation because I needed to continue living, and I was in completely new environment. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anyone. I was changing the work and not only the life living place. And all my body was screaming that need to stay in the comfort zone, but I didn't have the comfort zone any longer. So I was trying to recreate the comfort zone to at least give some certainty to myself because I was transitioning to completely different environment. And I started to check the motivational seminars and also the books. And I realized that there are some uncovered things. There were things that they had a lot of wisdom, but they were not working for me. Like, let it go. And I was like, don't don't tell me to let go, because let the past go. But once I realized what I needed to let go, because I was suffering with that let go for 3 years, I couldn't. And I was like, don't tell that phrase before me, because it was not working for me. But once I understood what I needed to let go, in 1 second I let it go. And then I was like, wow, okay. So the let go was not working for me, not because I was sick in the past, or I didn't want to leave it or let it go. No, I didn't know what I needed to let go. So everything was blur for me. I started to check, to read, to understand, to analyze. And before you come to that point, what are you letting go? You will stay stuck in that position. And I was surprised. More and more I would learn. I was like, why would we even call the zone where we are unhappy, unhealthy, and not living our full potential to be a comfort zone? Why? Why would we call? What is the signal that we send to our brain that we are comfortable to be unhappy? So we are comfortable to be unhealthy, and we are surprised that our brain sabotages our attempt to quit our comfort zone. No, the function of the brain is to keep us safe. So if you keep telling yourself that this is my comfort zone, but I'm unhappy, your brain reads that you are
Contradict.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes, to be unhappy. So if you try to move from here and to be uncomfortable, what the hell are you doing? So you create this conflict, and we forget that our brain reads everything that comes as the information through our biochemistry. This is what people forget, because we normally think that the thoughts formulate our moves or how we react. No, no. The biochemistry decides how you will proceed. So if your biochemistry is conflicting, you will stay in your comfort zone. You have to nullify that. You have to rewire everything that you have in your brain, especially whatever links you have between your subconscious, which is the limbic brain, and the conscious, which is the cortex. If you have the wrong wires between the limbic and the conscious brain, you will sabotage. You have to nullify everything that exists in your body and then restart. It's kind of when the computer doesn't work, you don't kick the computer and you don't keep telling you have to keep working. No, the computer doesn't understand. You have to restart the computer. The same way is our body. If it doesn't function properly, you have to reset. But you don't reset simply. You start in the morning and you decide, today I'm going to do this. Okay, try. But then you will sabotage and you will slide right back to your comfort zone. What exactly happens with 80% of people? 80%, it's huge number. And if there is a majority, there is a statistic, it tells that there is something that so many people do wrong. It's impossible that 80% people do the right thing and they get wrong results. It's impossible. You cannot multiply 1 by 1 and get 10. If you multiply 1 by 1, you get 1. This is the law. So if one person does the right thing, they will get the right result. If the person does the wrong thing, they will get the wrong result. 80% cannot do the right thing and get wrong result. You have to realize where the mistake comes from, what you do wrong. And once you start to analyze, once you start to read what you do and what you have as a result, this is when the things flip. And you understand that if you see the seed or the rose and you expect to have the apple, obviously you cannot harvest apple if you seed rose, or if you seed something else. You will harvest what you seed. So think what you seed, because this is the harvest that you will have within the time.
Oh, wow. You went straight in. Okay. Asa, I just want to take a step back on your journey so far. And then we're going to go back to your life lessons and the failure that you had for you. So I am curious myself, like, where were you from and what made you want to move to the States?
Yeah, I started to study in Europe and live in Europe and work at the universities for 15 years since I was in science. And then I got the option to come to the US back in 2016, 17, and I fell in love with the country. It's very hard to live after you lived in Europe actually for really very long period of time because they are so different. Though I lived in Western countries like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, but still it's completely different life in the US. But once you see what are the options that you can develop here and you see what are the options that the country gives, then you have the option to decide whether this is the risk that you want to take. Because every move is the risk that you take, even if you stay in the same place, because that's something that people
That's a
miss.
risk too. Yeah.
Yes,
Comfort zone.
yes, it's
Yes.
another risk. You risk to lose right away. So if you act and you lose, you'll learn something. If you stay in the same place, you lose the time, you lose the option to learn and then to improve. So that's every inaction is still the loss. Is the
Wow.
decision.
I love it. I love it. This is what I always this is what I'm after and part of why I started my podcast as well. You're worthless, but really you're not worthless, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, coming back, Aksa, what was the biggest lesson that you learned so far? Hi, I'm Nick Nieras, your host of the Your Worthless podcast. Now, if this real raw stories hit home, don't wait. Please follow, like, and subscribe my Spotify and YouTube. For bite-sized inspirational reels, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Don't wait. Your transformation starts today. Thank you, and bye for now.
I will go with two lessons because I want people to hear. One of them is very common lesson to hear. It's not from me, but I think that's one of the lessons absolutely to go fail fast. If there is
Yay!
one
No, that's
thing,
my motto.
fail,
That's my motto. Fail, fail,
fail
fail
fast.
often, fail forward.
Okay.
I love it.
I would make some changes
Okay.
through I learned. It's not fail often, it's fail fast. So and it is not sit on your idea. Forget that. That's not failing. If you sit on your idea and you are not acting, it's procrastination. It's not failing. Failing is
Yeah.
when you do something and it doesn't work out. This is the failing. But
Then you
you'll
move.
learn the lesson. You learn the lesson, you do the change, and then you fail again, fail again, fail again, as many times as before you correct. But staying and not doing anything, that's not failing. That's procrastination. Change, generalizing everything. That's the problem that the world has. We generalize everything too many times. It's not a salad. You cannot put everything inside, call it salad, and that's it. It's food. You can call it salad. But if you put different things as a recipe to make the salad, you have to name step everything separately. Once you give the name to everything, this is when you start to analyze. This is how you break the links that you have in your brain. Because if you call everything to be a salad, then you will take it as one thing and you will think that's salad. I can forget it. No, salad has many components. And some components could be good for you. Some components could be harmful for you. Some
Mm-hmm.
components could be something that you have to postpone for now because it's not the right time for that. So split the salad. Life is not a salad. Don't put everything in one bowl and pretend this is my day. No, the day has different steps. The day has different stages. The same as life. Don't mix everything as salad. It's not a food. It's not a dish. You have to separate everything. If you fail, you learn, change, and move for the next. But don't procrastinate and call it as you fail. This is one thing that I would. And the second, never take the advice from people who didn't achieve what you want. Why? Because this is something that we hear very often. People say, never take the advice from the person who didn't achieve what you want. Because this is the lesson that I learned from my own experience. People will give you bad advice and they will continue their life perfectly. And you are the only one to suffer with the out. Make it like the mantra. This is my mantra forever. Never take the advice from somebody who didn't achieve what you want. This is very common thing to hear. Why? Because people will continue living their life and you are the only one to suffer with the outcome. So think, what are you doing? Think what is the outcome to you are going to have. Are you able to deal with that outcome? If no, don't take that advice. Whatever advice it is, the person might not even think through. Unfortunately, people are so easy to give the advice without realizing how harmful the advice could be to somebody. Because they really don't think. Many people don't think, unfortunately. So if the result that you are going to have as the action that you are taking right now is not something that you can deal with in the future, don't do that. Just don't do that. Stop it. Don't take the advice.
The issue is that people are lazy to think. They're lazy to think because we are bombarded with so much information every day, left, right, and center. You scroll, there's always new information. There's so many podcasts. This is also going to be one of the information is going to go out there, right? And I think it's the discernment about yourself, your awareness, and then use it. Think, listen, filter all of the advice out there and see which one works for you. And like you said, maybe also, not maybe, experiment. And
I
experimenting
like that.
means being okay. Yeah, experiment means being okay with failing, right? And that's also where you have to change your mind and say, get out of my comfort zone by being okay with listening to others, not accepting it, but just be open. Because we are very stuck with our ways, with our beliefs that everybody's belief is no, 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 no. Right? And it goes with politics as
You
well,
have to,
religion.
once you start to name what you do correctly, not, as I said, don't make the salad from everything that you have. We generalize too much. And even the information, as you said, like there are so many podcasts. This one is one of them because we generalize too many times. You have to find what is good. Don't go for the podcast just
Yeah.
simply because it's a modern.
It's the in thing.
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
thing at the moment. Listen to one that resonates with you. Don't
Yeah,
go
that's
because
true.
simply, yeah, that's it's stylish. Oh no, listen to what gives you, because if you spend 24 hours without the sleep to listen to the noise that exists in the world, you will still miss 90% of what exists in the world. Can you imagine? Like if you spend.
Oh my God, that is so true. Yeah.
So we can invest so much time into doing something which we don't benefit. But that's the procrastination. We invest our time in doing nothing. That's what we.
Yeah, I see it's the juxtaposition, it's the paradox. You want to
That's the
do,
paradox.
yeah,
And we think
you,
that if we don't do anything, we don't waste our time. No, you waste your time on doing nothing. The time goes, the time doesn't care what you do with that. The same like nature,
exactly.
the nature doesn't care. It exists. If you violate the rule of the nature will punish you in particular way. The same is the time. The time doesn't care how you spend it. It it just flows. If you want to benefit, use it properly. Don't waste it doing nothing and say, oh, the time goes so fast. Yes, the time goes very fast and it will never change.
It will not stop for you.
No, not for you. It will stop at particular point, but you
Of
want
course. Yes, we want to make sure
Fine.
we. What I'm saying is, you have to
Yes, for
utilize
as
it.
long
Yeah.
as it's possible. Yeah. Hopefully it will not happen within really long period of time. But the time goes fast and the time doesn't change. How the flow of the time is the same all the time. It's very funny. The flow of the time is the same all the time. You have to realize, what does the procrastination mean? What does inaction mean? What does failing mean? What does learning the lesson mean? I love this lesson that you learn from the dad of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Strengths.
Thanks.
One of the best lessons you can ever learn, where he teaches to see the failure not as failing, but as not trying. So if you see the failure not as you didn't fail, you learned the lesson. So then it's completely different. You see the failure as not trying. I see the failure as you were not prepared. Prepare yourself, learn the lesson, and try once again. But inaction is inaction. Don't do that.
Yeah. Move.
No. No. Yes. If the wave comes at you, you don't stand there and you are like, the wave comes at you, I will procrastinate. Now I decide, no, I will procrastinate. No. Yeah, I'm so lazy to move. So what's the
Let me
difference?
drown.
What's the difference? Why we have to always be in critical situation that there is nothing else to do, that we start to move? You don't want
Yeah.
to come to that like point where it's already critical, then you start to move. You have the option. It's the wave of the time. Take the time as the wave which can cover you, or you can be on the wave and it will take you. So the time is also the wave. Everything in the world is the energy. Time is also energy. So you can let the time cover you as the wave, as the whatever you call it, energy, time, wave, doesn't matter. Or you can be on the wave of the time and it will take you with the flow. And then you will come to a particular place where you might learn something. You can see, oh, that's definitely not where I want to be. But you know already, you have the answer. Because if you don't have the answer, you might wonder, what if? What if is the scariest thing ever? The scariest thing ever to have in life is the regrets which are coming from what if. Yeah, the scariest things are the regrets. Don't do, like, they really stink. They really stink. Don't even try to check. Trust people when they say regrets stink.
Wow.
Yeah, there are some lessons that you really want to skip. Life lessons. It's better if you skip. Just learn what other people are telling. Don't do that. It's a wrong thing. You
Can
can,
you give us an example?
like, don't waste your time. If you want to do something and you doubt what is the outcome, one of the best examples I would give, like, I was always very good to create I was very innovative. I have 12 inventions. So I would have some idea about the product and then I would just try to have it in my mind to design and blah, blah, blah. And at certain point, I realized, okay, it makes no sense. You have to move with the idea. So the moment you start to move with the idea, there are so many things the idea changes before it becomes the product. You would be amazed. Up to making the product, it might take 99% to change your idea. But if you keep polishing your idea in your head, you will never
Trying to make it perfect. Right.
What are you doing? Make the product perfect. This is how your idea changes, because once you make the product, you realize, oh wow, okay, this is not going to work. It doesn't work. You change. Don't sit and don't live in your head. Don't live in
Yeah.
your head.
My God, I love that. I could apply that to my life as well. I'm applying it right now. Yeah, like sometimes you like, because okay, my podcast, I push out content, right? So the content that I had last year, definitely the content now is so much better. Like yesterday, I was like, I released one, and I'm like, and then I found something better, and I didn't. I should have released that one. Should have been better, but then if I sit, that means I wouldn't be publishing anything, right? I
That
just publish first, but then as I learn through it, and I found a better way, interesting way to, edit my content and put it out there. Yeah, I'm making progress.
yes. It's like if you never tried, especially as female, like if you never tried the different haircut, how
Oh
would
yeah.
you know which haircut is better for you? Like if you never tried different color for the lipstick or the different way to do the makeup, how do you know which one fits you better? You have to try. You have to try, fail, go wash your face, try once again. If you cut
Yes,
your
sure.
hair too short, they will grow. This is when
Yes.
this is the failing, like failing. I mean, like you cut, you see, oh my goodness, why did I cut? Why did I do that? Okay, next time you don't do, because you know that
Yes.
it doesn't work. But you don't sit and you grow your hair and you are like,
Hey, what if I
"Oh,
color? Yeah.
what if?
What if
And then you
I?
cut your hair. It's so good. And you are like, why I
Why
did? I
didn't
had
I do?
before. What's the
Yes.
difference?
Yes. Yes. People are so scared to leave their comfort zone. I mean, that's everything that you have been talking about. Yeah.
Because we generalize. We generalize everything to it's like
Mm.
we don't split the things. We generalize. It comes mostly from the hardship when you go through. You start to numb your feelings, because at a particular point you cannot react, because if you start to react, it would be too much for you. So the nature created this numbing mechanism as a coping mechanism to protect you. But at certain point, you have to realize that you numbed it before. Now you have to split it. Don't generalize and continue living the same way. You were doing it in particular period of your time to survive or to go through the hardship, whatever. People go through the different things. So it has. Now you have the option to analyze and to bring the colors back to your life. If it's anger, if it's sadness, if it's grief, if it's loss, name it. Because when you name it, you start to feel differently. But if you say it's negative, your brain reads as negative. Because when you see comfort zone as positive, right?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
You see comfort zone as positive because you generalize, you put everything in your comfort zone. You generalize as comfort zone. And your brain reads it's a comfort zone. But there you have procrastination. You don't continue with your ideas. It's inaction. It's everything there. But you generalize, you put as comfort zone. And then there are so many things in your comfort zone that you don't even know where to start. What do you have in comfort zone? I was shocked to realize how many people think of their comfort zone as a particular location. And I was like, do you think that your home is your comfort zone? That's
Mm.
weird. Like people, we We are weird creations, like humans.
We are.
We create in our minds the things which makes no sense. We convince ourselves that we create, and then we start to blame something we just created. It doesn't work for us, but it doesn't work. You create it, destroy it,
It's true.
destroy it.
Oh,
You
the
created your
destroying
own
part
comfort zone.
is the,
Destroy it.
yeah, the destroying is the,
Destroy it. You created it. You created the
that's true.
monster. The
Yeah,
comfort is the monster which kills your real progress. Destroy it. Don't live there. It's not place. It's not the, you have the place. Like if you have the room and if it is not decorated the way that you want, you don't sit there and you are like, oh, that's my room. No, you clean it.
change.
You remove what you don't like. If there is a need, you color the walls. So why you cannot do the same for your comfort zone? You don't like the color of the comfort zone because it's, let's say, it's
Change.
change it. Change it. Color with the different things. Remove what you don't like. If you created something which doesn't serve you, like destroy it. It's in your head. We live, as I said, we live too much in our head. And we think that there are so many things which don't exist, but because we are thinking about them, we make them to be real. And then we struggle with them.
Yeah.
That's the difference when you procrastinate and when you fail. Because when you procrastinate, you live in your head and you just keep procrastinating. You created the reality which you feel somehow exists, but it doesn't exist. So you procrastinate. Failing is when you act. This is the difference. When you live in your head, you start to procrastinate. When you act, you start to fail. But life doesn't stop there. Yeah, okay, you fail. You learn the lesson. Next time you don't do it or do it differently. Try something else. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Stop it. Stop, try something else. Just don't do it. No one tells you fail again and again doing the same thing and just learn the lesson and continue doing. No, if it really doesn't work, stop doing that. Don't keep failing all the time. It makes so much sense. So that's why you have to start to split. Don't generalize. Don't think that if you failed with something, you are going to fail with other things. That's when we generalize. We did something, we failed, we generalize. Whatever we did,
The thunder is agreeing.
yeah. It's like, yes, I will not procrastinate. You see, the nature never procrastinate. The nature, if there is something that the nature needs to do, that the nature will not sit and say, and think, okay, I'm not in the mood
I don't feel
today.
like it.
The ocean will not be like, I'm not in the mood today to create the waves.
Okay, that's funny.
Yes. And if there is in our
Sun.
opinion, not
Imagine
perfect
sun.
wave, try to tell
Imagine
the
sun.
ocean that the wave was not perfect.
Okay, imagine if the sun says, "Oh, I don't feel like waking up today." The whole world
I
will
wish
be
that
doomed.
never. But still, like, if the sun, in our opinion, like today, the trajectory of the sun is not perfect. The sun doesn't give the
Ah,
seriously.
shit. Yes.
It's nature. Take the example from the nature. Nature doesn't care whether it's perfect. The nature created the wheat as well. Like it can kill the best flower ever. Like you have the best flowers, you start to create the garden, and then you get the weed in your garden. So the nature will not be like, oh, the weed is not
Because this is,
perfect. It's
yeah.
the wrong. No, there is nothing like that in the nature. So take the example from the nature. Everything exists. That's the diversity. But the diversity, you can enjoy the diversity when you stop to generalize everything. That's when you see where is the sadness, Where is the grief? Where is the joy? Where is the positivity? Where the what makes you feel that? Stop generalizing. If you fail,
Wow.
because that's when you start. If you fail, you generalize. I will fail again. Okay, fail again, fail again, fail again. But don't stop. Don't procrastinate.
Wow. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Aksa. Okay. Universal hack to know your old habits. Yes, this is what you wrote. So I'm curious. What is this?
Okay. So it's kind of when somebody does something, how to know why people do that. So the easiest way is when you ask when you do that. So if you try to, yeah, it's a bit hard to get it in really very short. So
Okay.
it's more to start to understand who you are, why you do particular things, what makes you to do the things, when you split and you stop to generalize. It's kind of when you give the name for what you feel, why you do that, what what's the outcome. When you stop seeing as the action and the result. No, it's not action and the result. There are so many steps in between.
Mm.
Who was involved in this time? What did you learn from the previous failure and you applied this time? You are different. As the example when you said publish the content, and I realized that I could have done so much better because you don't generalize. It's not content. You see the parts of the content and you try, you flip, this time you change this. Let's say, because everybody knows like the content has to have the hook, the story, and the result. What is the result the person has to? So you try this hook, it didn't work. Try something else. And you never know. Something which doesn't work for you might work for your audience perfectly.
Yeah.
So you
Yes.
don't create the content for yourself because that's something that you know. You create the content for your audience. If you see the audience accept that, then continue because you don't share the wisdom for yourself. You don't share and you sit there and I'm like, "Hmm,
I made this content. It's for me.
yes, you don't make the content for yourself. So if people benefit from whatever you share, I share my book not because I wanted to share. I knew that because it's not very funny story that I shared actually. Because I knew that some people would benefit even if it saves one life. Whoever reads the book, if it saves one life, I already, yes, it's like, yeah, it did.
Yes. It
It
did save
counts.
one life. Yes.
Yeah,
It saved.
it counts how many lives it saves. You see, you don't share for yourself. You share because you want to help somebody. So if you are helping somebody, you cannot help the way that you want to help them. You have to help them the way they want to be helped. You never help the person. This is another lesson that I learned. When you ask for the help from somebody and people say, yes, I will help you, make sure they help you the way that you need the help, not they feel comfortable to help you with. Because people feel comfortable to help you with something and then they help you, but in reality you didn't need that. Like if you are thirsty and somebody tries to give you the piece of the best cake ever,
But I
do you
don't
need?
want cake. I want water.
And you can survive without the cake perfectly because you cannot survive without the water. So whom would you value more? If the person would give you one drop of water, or if the person would give you the entire cake, which by the way, you cannot even eat because if you eat, you would feel even more thirsty.
Thirsty.
So if you have to realize what do people help you with? do you need that help? If you ask for help and the person said, I will help you, it doesn't mean that they will do what you need. They will do what they feel comfortable with. That's why stop asking for help. Because once you start to ask for help, you convince yourself that you are helpless. There is one chapter in my book, which how you learn helplessness, because you keep asking for help all the time. When you just need assistance. This is an example how we generalize everything. When you need this, when you go to the store and you are like, can you help me? It's not help, but we keep repeating help so many times that we convince our brain, because the word help, it synthesizes particular biochemistry in your body. So if you keep using the wrong words all over again and again, it keeps synthesizing the particular biochemistry. The same as, this is the comfort. This is my comfort zone. I need help. I need help. Your body, okay, you need help. No, you need assistance. I need assistance. Can you show me? But you will not go and say, can you show me? You are like, can you help me? We go so fast for the easiest way to express what we need that we don't realize what do we need. What do we need? We say all the time, I need help, and you come to the point to think that you need help with everything, which means that you are helpless, because this is how your brain reads the information. You need help with everything. Are you helpless? Yes, I'm helpless. And then you convince yourself that you are helpless and you don't want to try anything because you are helpless, because you feel your body all the time with the wrong biochemistry. You need help all the time. It's my comfort zone where I am unhappy, unhealthy, and somehow I call it comfort zone. I don't act, but I fail while I procrastinate. So we don't name the things as they are. If somebody comes to you and say, Aksa, would you react? No. So if we don't react when somebody calls us with the different name, why do we call the things with the same name? Why? Different name, they have different face. The same is what's happening with us during our life. If it's not the same thing, don't call it with the same name. Don't give the same name. Don't use the same word, because every word you associate with particular emotion. Emotion triggers the shift in your biochemistry. Once you have the shift, this is what you feel. And this is how you start to label particular occasions. But then you generalize, you are like, okay, this is my comfort zone. But you have there everything nearly. Comfort zone. That's why comfort zone, we have this negative emotion towards the comfort zone. Why? Because we put everything together. We call it the comfort zone. And now we start to hate our comfort zone. We shouldn't do that. We have to split. Don't generalize. The same as we generalize everything. Once there is a comfort zone, there is a part in your home as well where you really feel comfortable. But we started to hate our comfort zone because we don't name the things with the correct words. We don't use the correct word. And there are words for everything. Bring the colors back to your, bring different colors, emotions, words to your word. And then you will see how different everything is.
I love when you talk about assistance, because I sometimes also use the word help, but I know I'm not helpless, but the choice of words is very important. When I try that, when I try to form a sentence in my head by changing help to assistance, I feel like I'm still empowered. I'm still powerful. I
You
just need
see?
some assistance
Yes,
with this.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you see is the tiny example. Shift it. Don't say, I need help. Can you help me? No, I need assistance. Even the tonation changes. I need
Yes.
assistance.
I need
But you don't say,
assistance.
I need help. No, you say,
Yeah.
can you help me?
Mhm.
Even the tone of your voice goes down. And when your tone of your voice goes down, the biochemistry shifts. Whether you
Yeah.
want or you don't, we need to realize if you have particular meaning in your head with the word, your body starts to synthesize that biochemistry. Whether you want or no, it doesn't stop at certain point and say, oh, no, wait, she already again generalized the words. No, you saw that you need help. Your body produces the biochemistry which associates with that you need help. Your body doesn't think alike because subconscious brain doesn't think. This is what we need to realize. Most of the time, 90% of the time, we live in our subconscious because that's the nature, how the nature created. This is automated like everything. So your subconscious cannot like start to produce the biochemistry and then think again she or he generalized the things. Now I will decide. No, subconscious doesn't do that. You gave the command, it produces your biochemistry, period. Unless you start to activate your conscious all the time. No, this is when you think, no, I need assistance. You see, even the tonation, I don't need help. I need assistance. You are assertive more, like more stronger. The tonation changes, your mood changes. And if you don't help me with the assistance, I don't care. I will ask some. If you don't help me with the help, I'm like, okay. You feel stronger when somebody doesn't help you when you need help.
Mm.
But somebody doesn't help you with the assistance, you don't even feel that you failed. You are like, I'll ask somebody else. But when somebody doesn't help with the help, you are like, okay. Because we are not very easy to ask for help.
Yes.
It's
But when
hard
we do,
to ask for the help than for the assistance. Because for help, somebody can reject you. And then you feel, but I needed help. And but assistance, I don't care. I can ask somebody else. I can ask somebody else because there is no attachment. The feeling is not as intensive as when you ask for help. The same
Mm.
is every. Don't generalize. Stop that. Stop generalizing everything, put in your comfort zone and start to hate it. No, comfort zone is a good thing, but we put everything there. We start to hate. Now we are trying to quit the comfort zone and then they're so messy, and then we wonder why we fail every single attempt to quit our comfort zone, because comfort zone is not a bad thing. The bad thing when you put everything in your comfort zone, you procrastinate and you call it you are in your comfort zone. No, you procrastinate. You are not in your comfort zone. You procrastinate.
Mm. I love it. Wow. Thank you so much. Okay. Wow. I got a few more questions, Aksa,
Sure.
and then, yes. So, okay, we're gonna move. Okay. Talk to us about tolerance, plasticity, and adaptation. Becoming a podcast host was a natural extension of my second act. And after spending 15 years in the corporate world, I've transitioned to helping individuals overcome challenges like navigating tough relationships, career burnout, and aligning their mission with their soul's calling. By certifying as an RTT hypnotherapist and a lifestyle coach, I've made it my mission to empower people to recreate the life they deserve and building a supportive community through my podcast. Now, let me ask, are you facing challenges like struggling to reprogram your mind to attract wealth, weight issues that feel like a constant yo-yo, insomnia or restless nights from daily worries, or just a lack of confidence in public speaking? If the answer is yes, visit www.thenicknearholisticlifestyle.com and grab a free hypnosis audio of these common struggles. It's a sneak peek into how my coaching works. Are you feeling shy? Don't be, because I'm as real as it gets. Let's connect on Instagram and LinkedIn and start your transformation today.
Yeah, that's kind of what is regarding when you start to feel particular emotion and you need to raise your the tolerance to particular emotion. That's when, so the tolerance is when you is the range where you can apply particular, not apply, but still you can feel the emotion without the change. Like the tolerance, this is your maximum. You cannot take, this is what you can tolerate. Plasticity is when this is the edge at which the breakdown can happen. So the tolerance is this is what you can tolerate. It's smaller range. Plasticity is a little bit bigger range when the breakdown happens. And the adaptation is when you extend your tolerance to particular emotion. When something negative happens during the day, what do you feel? Like you come to a particular moment, you are like, I can't take that anymore because it's more than enough. You reach your plasticity. Like that's, you tolerate. When you hear something like negative first time, you tolerate. To the moment you come and you are like, I can't take this anymore. This is you reach your limit. But once you start to expand with the negative thing, it's not very easy to go, because it's not very good thing to tell the person go and feel the negativity and raise your adaptation. But let's say you do something new, it's unfamiliar for you, you feel uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
But uncomfortable, you have particular tolerance to uncomfortable. If you do something which is absolutely new for you and you keep doing, you reach your tolerance fast enough because it's new for you, it's uncomfortable. Step by step, once you keep doing, you raise your adaptation. So you adapt your tolerance to that uncomfortable. This is when you adapt to be uncomfortable and the thing starts to shift, because it's not that you quit your comfort zone, you go to feel uncomfortable and everything flips. You cannot do that. It's impossible. You have to raise your tolerance to uncomfortable. That's when the tolerance, the plasticity, and the adaptation, they come from the biology terms, obviously. But that's when you go from one stage to another and you start to bring the new skills or the new feelings, anything new that you bring in your life, you incorporate, you start to master. In the very beginning, it's uncomfortable, but then you gain more skills, you master, and then you become the expert. That's what the adaptation is. You have to start small and then step by step extend your even comfort zone. Whatever, anything that you start new, you cannot go from being a beginner to expert. There is nothing like that. It's impossible. You start as a beginner, then you go through the steps like failing, learning. Then you learn the new skill, then you become kind of like, the first stage, the second, and blah, blah, blah. Then you master, and then you become the expert. Because knowing the subject and being the expert are two different things. You might know, let's say, the math. Like, I'm really very good with the numbers, but I'm not expert. I know the numbers, I can do the calculation perfectly, but I would never say I am expert. So knowing something, even at the good level, and being expert are two different things. Like, I know I did physiology at the university, but I'm not going to make I'm not going to operate anyone or do the surgery. I'm not at that level. I know, but I'm not expert.
I'm learning so much today. Thank you so much, Aksa. Okay. What is the number one mistake singles make when dating? We're moving to
Like that.
relationship.
Okay.
What
So,
is the mistake?
are you in the relationship with somebody?
Oh my God.
I like that.
It's,
So,
I,
when you go for the dating,
I think it's,
so what
yeah,
do you do first?
get to know.
Get to know, like to check what the person has, what you want the person to have, right?
Yes.
So you check
We
for the green flag,
subconsciously have like a, subconsciously see if they fit our criteria,
the list for the green
the
flags.
list.
Exactly. You are doing the
Yes. Yes.
green
Correct.
flag is never the reason to break up. Never. The only reason to break up is the red flag. But you will never learn the red flag if you keep checking the green flag. Do you know why? Because you subconsciously focus to check the green flags. And the person shows you the red flag, but you ignore it because you are so focused. Okay, person had this. My goodness, I met my soulmate. You already think what the wedding dress you are going to wear,
Yes.
and the person shows you the red flag right away, right away. But you are thinking what the color of the wedding dress is going. I'm going to wear. I know because I've been there.
Say, I've been there too. And yes.
The person shows you the red flag, and you are like,
No,
"What the
no.
hell
I
are you
must
showing
find,
me?" Like
yeah,
you're
I
ignoring,
must see the,
you
there must
ignore
be
it.
the green. The green is there. The
Yes,
red will turn to green. That's the worst thing. Hoping for red to turn to green.
we all are guilty to do that. We all do that. That's that's the mistake every single make. Stop checking for the green flag. Stop. Because by the time you check the green flag, you already have the emotional attachment to the person.
Should.
Because you are like, and then your survival mode comes in, kicks in, and you are like, I'll change the red flag to a green flag. Don't do that. It's a universal mistake every single makes. Don't check for the red flags first. If the person has the red flag, before you even try to check the green flag, just stop there. Don't go. The red flag never turn into green flag. And I don't mean the tiny red, because that's something that people normally confuse. Like, if the person didn't text me in within 1 hour, it's a red flag. Seriously.
That's
I mean a real red flag, not
yeah.
what pisses you off or what like makes you uncomfortable. No, I'm talking about real red flag. Like the person can be violent. Like the person can like really
Abusive.
like can be rude, can even the physical abuse. Like you can
Yeah.
feel that in the very beginning. Sometimes you can read the person like right away. But we are so focused, like the person is violent, whether it's emotional violence, whether it's physical violence, we see that, but we ignore it. And then we're like, I'll change it. Seriously, good luck with that. I never tolerate all my life. On a flip, one red flag, I'm out. I never tolerate. That's my personality. But I did the wrong in the very beginning. I check for the
Same.
green flags, then the red flag comes out. I'm out of the relationship. I don't continue. But check the red flags. If I would have checked the red flags, I wouldn't even continue.
You would save time.
Just if it doesn't work, then just save your time. My personality is more or less exceptional. Not every person do. They just stay and tolerate. So many people tolerate the violence. So many people tolerate the cheating. So many people tolerate even the abuse. It's hard to see what's happening in the world. It's really like when you see the statistic, I'm not talking about even physical abuse or the violence, because those are really critical. Like, but the cheating or like mental abuse or being mentally like or not available person, or when you
gaslighting, all those things. Yeah.
yeah, when you see that the couple really they don't align, they just live together. This is, I'm very passionate about real true couple when you see and it's contagious and you are like, I want to have that in my life as well, and I will never settle. Like, don't check the red flags up front. Don't create something that you will regret later. Don't do that. It's better to spend several months or even a year and search for the right partner versus to go for the relationship for 2 months with one person. Then spend 1 month recovering, or even 2 months, or even longer. Some people it takes longer. So longer you are in the relationship, longer period you need to recover. The longest is 3 years. Actually, there is I believe the psychology and the relationship expert, they wrote that the longest is 3 years. Can you imagine 3 years to recover? And if you have been like more than 1 year, but below 3 years, it will take you 6 months to recover. We don't have 6 months. Check it up front. If the person is not the right person for you, don't do that. And I'm not talking about the tiny things. Forget it. There is no perfect person in the world. You are not perfect. So something that you can tolerate, again, back to something, the tolerance, what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate. So you have to overcome. If you overcome, is it better? Because there are some things that you cannot tolerate, but they are beneficial for you. In the very beginning, there are not so many things that you can tolerate. But then you see, wait, okay, this is beneficial for me, actually. When you go to exercise, you cannot tolerate the high weight, right? You cannot lift the really very heavy weight. This is your tolerance. You cannot tolerate that, but it's very beneficial for you. So you raise you adapt, and then you come to the point to see what is beneficial for you. So with the relationship is the same. You have to understand what is beneficial. If the person has something which you think that you don't tolerate, is it really negative thing? Or maybe it's just only simply something new that you didn't know before. You don't have that coping mechanism for that, but you can adapt yourself. But don't adapt to the wrong thing. Adapt to the right thing.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for that, Aksa. This became a procrastination and relationship podcast altogether.
Yes.
Okay. What being alone in foreign country taught you?
I believe to be responsible for your life. And funny as it sounds, we are not responsible for our life. We always think that somebody else is responsible, the government, our parents, our relatives, people, because we always think that we are humans, we have to help each other. Yeah, we have to, but it doesn't mean that it will happen. So you have to take the full responsibility for yourself, and you would be amazed how different it is from what we think. That's what, yeah, being in foreign country taught me. You have to take the full responsibility for your every single decision, because every single decision has the outcome. And are you able to deal with that outcome? So never make the decision based on the situation. There is the worst thing to do is to make the decision based on the situation you are in. Never make the decision. Make the decision based on the outcome that you want to have. Never. The decision, you are here, it doesn't mean that you have to take that decision unless you want to be here. if you want to here, this decision will not get you here. Then it doesn't matter even if you are here, but you want to go there, you have to take the decision which will take you there, not to take you out of here. That's why we created this, like the emotion about the comfort zone. And then every person wants to quit the comfort zone. Okay, you are quitting your comfort zone. What are you doing out of your comfort zone? Quitting your comfort zone, that's not the goal. The goal should be, what is your quitting your comfort zone? What are you doing quitting your comfort zone? If there is nothing else to do out of your comfort zone, stay in your comfort zone. At least you are safe.
That's true.
So you
Yeah.
have to realize, why do you come? Let's say if you come out of your house, why do you come out of your house? Just simply to come out of your house? Why do you come out of your house? You come out
To buy something, to buy groceries.
to buy groceries. So that's if you come out during when the store is closed, will you buy the groceries? That's exactly when you do something. It's not based on, oh, I want to go out to buy something. If the store is closed, you cannot do that. So don't go. Don't do something if you don't know what is the outcome that you want. Because your actions are based not on what you want, but it's based on what is not like not what you want to do at that moment. It's what is possible
What's
out.
taking you next? That's why you said.
Yes. What's the next? Can you deal with the next?
Yeah.
That's very important, because some people think, okay, I will quit my comfort zone. Can you cope with being out of your comfort zone? It's not very easy. People started this move, like everyone is trying to quit the comfort zone. Are you able to live uncomfortable? Ask yourself really, and then prepare yourself to live uncomfortable. Don't just move and do what just only because it's stylish. It's the fashion. Everybody do this. No, don't do that because everybody does. Do what's good for you and what you are prepared. I don't call people to stay in their comfort zone. I say is you have to analyze what is your next step. But don't sit and procrastinate. We started the talk with that. Don't sit and procrastinate. Decide, move, fail, learn the lesson. There is a need, go back to your comfort zone, recover, try, learn, fail, anything. Many people are perfectly fine to live in their comfort zone. Again, there is no need to quit if you are happy there. If you are fine with that, so many people don't quit their comfort zone and they are fine with that. Don't do just only simply, there is, it's stylish, it's modern. Everybody tells that. No, don't do that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Aksa. Wow. I think I'm keeping you. It's already 10 p.m. at your side.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the part where, what is your heart's greatest wish?
What is what?
What is your heart's greatest wish?
I believe I will not repeat, I will not say extremely wise thing, but it's so true. To know what I know at the moment and to be back to where I was when I was 20 and to tell everything that I know to my 21. 20, yeah, 20.
Younger self.
The younger self.
Thank you. Okay. You said something about reading behavior, right? So what is your biggest hack for reading anybody's behavior?
The hack to read somebody's behavior, I think I would say trust when people show that they are not good people. Trust what you see. Because unfortunately, we try to see the good thing because we are good people. So we try to see the good thing in the
others. Yeah.
And we try to justify why they do it. No, Sometimes it's just only they are bad people. So if a person shows that they are bad people, just trust it. Just trust it. People don't do the things for nothing. There is a reason behind. Trust.
Thank you. Okay. Aksa, if you could create a quote right now for you to leave to the audience listening and the world as your legacy, what would it be?
I will start with the part which already exists as a quote from Jim Rohn, success leaves clue. The second part comes from me, failure leaves clue as well.
Wow, I just had chills. Success leaves clue.
Yes,
And
it's from Jim Rohn. It's very
Jim
famous.
Rohn.
Yes, it's very famous.
Failure
leaves clue
as well. That's true. So truly, there is nothing wrong. Just move. You can succeed and you fail, but then there's nothing wrong.
You can learn from the failure as well. It's not that you learn only from the success. You learn from the failure as well.
Wow. Thank you. Okay. How can people reach out to you about your book and also just reach out to you in general?
Yeah, they can get the book on Amazon, and then they can reach me on either LinkedIn or on Facebook. Those are platforms, yes. Quite active.
And the name of your book is?
It's Stop Calling It Comfort Zone.
Stop calling it comfort zone.
Uncomfortable to be comfortable.
Thank you. And there you have it, everyone. You heard it straight from the source. Before we wrap up, Aksa, I would to personally thank you for the incredible work you're doing for the world. Despite the challenges, you continue to push forward, paving the way for those that will follow in your footsteps. Your dedication is truly inspiring. And for our listeners, this has been that podcast with the provocative title, You're Worthless. Read that again. The juxtaposition of your very soul. If you've ever found yourself feeling worthless, you're not alone. But more importantly, ask yourself a deeper question. If I'm worthless, then why am I here? The truth is, your soul chose to be here energetically, coming all the way from the ethers. For that reason alone, you are worthy and you are enough. And with that, this is Axa Yox, our guest of the day, and I'm Nick Nyaras, your host, signing off. Thank you so much for your time, Aksa.
Thank you for hosting me. It was incredible.
Thank you.